and welcome back to The Good Life. Coconut Coffee Stout, Mango IPA. I bet those flavors typically don't come to mind when you think of beer. But three island boys have gotten together to form Three Chiefs Brewing Company, and they've introduced those flavors at their event, Craft Guam Island Beer Festival.
Started Three Chiefs as an idea. Like I started brewing beer about 6 to 7 years ago, and then a couple of my buddies were just like, hey man, like, you know what, you've been brewing like some really good beers, and I just did it as a hobby. And they're just like, hey, you know what you're doing is pretty good, why don't we just take it back home and have some of our friends from Guam experience this, because they're limited on getting like all these crazy craft beers while California is getting some crazy stuff, right? So us three linked up, so me and Vince, we met in California about probably more than 10 years ago, so a long time. This guy was into craft beer. He liked certain beers and I didn't, and then he showed me a couple of beers that I can enjoy. I was like, wow, you know, like there's a lot of stuff that I can drink that tasted good, that were different than the typical beers that I grew up with. And I knew a bunch of friends that knew how to homebrew. And then, so I learned off of them, made some beers, and then it just took off from there. And I was just like, you know what, I'm focused on this, and then you couldn't get my mind off of it anymore. And then, so I was producing some pretty decent beers that people thought were okay. And then other people got involved, and Vince was just like, hey man, I got this boy who can make some cool stuff. So from there, he tried my stuff, and I guess they thought we can do something with it, so I just hope it takes off. What makes Three Chiefs unique is we're not looking for like the money side, we're looking at the quality side of it, you know, because I don't know, man, it's like I like to drink certain types of beers. There's a lot of beers out there that everyone is chasing that's just like super popular now, but we've been drinking beers from guys who are making great beers maybe 2 years ago, and these are the kind of guys we network with and we know, and we send the stuff that we make to them and they appreciate it and they like it, and if anything they kind of like trip out on the stuff that we make too, which is why they are willing to work with us, help us, and we work with each other. And we don't want to send anything out there that isn't what we would drink ourselves.
Again, I'm your host, Crystal Paco. Stay good, Guam.